Have you ever tried learning English by just listening? Not studying, not translating, just letting the language flow over you, like sound on water. At Real English Journey, that's how we grow, through simple, real moments that stay with you. Today's story is exactly that kind of moment. If you want to learn like that, like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to Real English Journey. The water moved slowly through the narrow canals of Venice. It was early in the morning. The city hadn't fully woken up yet. The streets were quiet, the sky soft with light, and the air smelled faintly of salt and old stone. Armand stepped into the small wooden boat. The gondolier, a man in his 60s wearing a striped shirt and calm eyes, nodded without speaking. He held the oar in both hands, pushed gently away from the dock, and the boat glided forward. Armand sat near the middle. There were no other passengers. Just him, the boatman, and the sound of the water. It wasn't like the big gondola rides full of music and tourists. This was a small, local ride. Quiet. Slow. Real. The boat turned into a side canal. The buildings rose close on either side. Their windows were still closed. Laundry hung above, soft white shirts, blue towels, one red sheet swaying gently. Armand leaned back and let himself listen. The oar cut through the water with a rhythmic splash. The hull creaked softly. Now and then, the gondolier tapped the side of the canal with his pole, steering. Above them, a bird chirped once. Then silence again. Armand didn't speak. He didn't check a map. He didn't take pictures. He just listened. The city was full of soft sounds, water against stone, the echo of footsteps from a distant bridge, the whisper of wind through open shutters. The gondolier hummed, low and tuneless, like someone keeping time with memory. They passed under a low archway. Armand ducked slightly, and as they emerged on the other side, he saw an old woman watering flowers on a windowsill. She glanced down and smiled, not at him, not really, just in the direction of the boat. Like this was a normal part of her morning. The canal opened into a wider space. Here, the sun touched the water directly, turning it pale gold. A couple of other boats drifted nearby. Some carried goods, boxes of vegetables, metal cans, something wrapped in cloth. A boy stood in one boat, pointing at something in the water. His mother pulled him gently back. Armand felt the boat shift beneath him. He looked down and saw the reflection of the buildings moving in long, slow lines. The water wasn't clear, but it told its own story, layered, quiet, old. He turned to the gondolier. "Do you do this every day?" he asked softly. The man nodded. "Every morning," he replied in simple English. "How long?" 30 years. Armand smiled. The gondolier smiled back but didn't say more. They passed under another bridge. 2 pigeons flew across above them. Somewhere nearby, a bell rang, once, twice, marking the hour. The boat turned again, back into a shaded canal. Here, everything was darker. The air cooler. The sounds deeper. Armand closed his eyes for a moment. Just the water. The boat. The quiet. He remembered a phrase he'd read once, "Silence is also part of the conversation." He understood it now, not with his brain, but with his whole body. After nearly an hour, the boat returned to the small dock. Armand stepped out, nodded his thanks, and stood for a moment as the gondolier pushed off again, disappearing around the corner. He didn't rush to the next place. He didn't look at a guidebook. He just stood there, listening. Venice had spoken to him, not in loud monuments or busy markets, but in soft water, slow turns, and a boatman's quiet rhythm. In this story, you heard real expressions like, the city hadn't fully woken up yet, the water told its own story, he let himself listen, and its silence is part of the conversation. You also learned how to describe atmosphere, motion, and sound using natural, emotional English. If this kind of story helps you feel English more deeply, like the video, subscribe to Real English Journey, and leave a comment. What's the quietest place you've ever listened to? See you in the next video.